It's that time of year again when we're all going to be heading out to the frozen lakes to do ice fishing. Ice safety is a big concern. We want to make sure that the ice is safe when we go out there. One of the things you can do, it's the same as we teach in the hunter education, make a plan. Let somebody know where you're going to be. That way, if you happen to fall through, get yourself out or can't get back to your vehicle, at least if you're not home on time, then someone can alert the authorities or come looking for you. Take somebody with you. That's an easy way to have assistance to get yourself out of a situation should things go wrong. Some of the places that we fish are remote areas and your cell service is not going to work, but if you happen to be in an area that has cell service, be sure and take your cell phone. I know the cell phone's probably not going to work once it gets wet, but if you go with a friend and you're there with somebody else or your partner has a cell phone, should one of you fall through the ice, then the other will be able to contact the authorities if you take that cell phone with you. Some things that you can bring out on the ice with you, a spud. Take a spud with you, especially in the early and late season, to poke the ice in front of you as you're walking out. That way you can alert yourself to any weak spots in the ice that you come across. One simple piece of equipment that can be a lifesaver, it's a set of ice picks. Your set here is about $10. Most of your sporting goods stores carry them. It's got a retractable cover here that's got a spike. Now what this is going to do is allow you to get a grip on the ice should you fall through and you get to the ice to pull yourself out. I keep mine actually lanyarded to my jacket. That way, should I fall through the ice and I use my hands to swim to get back to the surface, I don't worry about dropping them. I've seen some fishermen carry screwdrivers in their pockets. That's great. It's good they serve the same purpose. But if you don't have them lanyarded or attached to you in some way, should you go through, things fall out of pockets. If you have them in your hands, you can drop them. It's a very inexpensive tool that can be a lifesaver. Another thing, in addition to the ice picks, is some kind of flotation gear. Now what I'm wearing here, this is a snowmobile suit that we're issued for our snowmobile patrols and for our ice fishing. It's an actual U.S. Coast Guard approved flotation device. So are the bibs that I'm wearing. Now, these can get a little expensive. I know ice fishing is expensive by the time you start buying your Vexilars and your shanties and all of this stuff. But if you have some money to spend on a good piece of ice fishing gear, a ice suit or a snowmobile suit that is flotation approved can also be a lifesaver. When you go through the ice, you might have a tendency to panic due to the shock from the water temperature. Having something on like this is going to take you to the surface of the ice immediately. That's one less thing you have to worry about. And when you get to the edge of the ice, when you go to put your picks in the edge of the ice to pull yourself out, you're going to want to kick with your legs like you're doing the crawl stroke with your swimming. Well, with this flotation gear on, your legs are coming up already and it's one less thing. The combination of the flotation gear and the ice picks can save your life. Another piece of equipment, a throw bag. This particular bag here is designed specifically for the purposes of rescue. It's got 50 foot of rope inside the bag here. It's got a handle right here, and basically you'll pull the end of the line out, attach it to something. You can step on it. You can put it over your arm, or you can put it below your foot. Tie it off to a dock post. Step on the rope, and then you'll toss this out to your target. The way I like to do it is to throw behind your target and then pull the bag back to them. You can make this same thing with any items that you have around the house. Most people that have boats or prams or john boats have the little square seat cushions, which are flotation devices. You can take one of those square cushions and tie a rope to it. This is something that you can use to help someone get to the edge of the ice and get them pulled out without having to get to the edge of the ice yourself. Another thing to look for, especially in the late and early seasons, ice discoloration. The strongest ice is clear ice. If you see ice that's milky or candled or discolored in any way, not always an indicator, but it can be an indicator that ice is unsafe. Once the ice starts to candle up and get air in it, it can get real weak. It's a day that you might want to have a spud with you for sure. Another resource that we're fortunate to have here in this area in Marquette is the U.S. Coast Guard. They really are the experts. They're the ones that train us. They are the best of the best when it comes to the ice rescue stuff. So if you have any questions and you want to contact the Coast Guard, I'm sure they would be happy to answer any questions that you have about ice rescue or ice safety, and I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you about it.
As the days get shorter in the fall and we lose heat energy to the atmosphere, eventually the water on top cools to between 39 and 40 degrees. That's when the water is most dense. That water sinks, and then the next layer cools and sinks. Pretty soon, all that water sinks, and the whole column is between 39 and 40 degrees. Then finally, the water on top of the lake cannot sink anymore, so it freezes. And then it starts freezing from the top down, and it goes farther and farther down. And of course, the colder it is, the farther down it'll go and the thicker the ice will be. If you've ever gone out, for instance, this year at Teal Lake, it took a long time to freeze this year because it's been so mild. But one night there was no wind at all, the lake wasn't moving, and finally that lake had cooled to between 39 and 40 degrees. That top layer just sat there all night. The wind was calm, it was clear, and bingo, the ice formed right away. That happens also in a river. However, you really need it cold when you have a current flowing through it for that moving water to actually freeze.